Your grandmother hated how your family treated you. Now this gift is payback. There's a very strong feeling that she saw everything. Not just the obvious things, not just the words that were said out loud, but the looks, the silence, the moments when you were left out, misunderstood, or treated like you didn't matter as much. And it bothered her more than anyone ever realized. She might not have always interfered directly. Maybe she held back. Maybe she chose her moments. But inside, there was this constant tension like, why are they doing this to you? Did your grandmother see how your family treated you unfairly? She didn't just see it. She felt it on a deeper level than anyone else. It's like she picked up on the small things that others ignored, the tone in someone's voice, the way conversations would shift when you entered the room, the subtle exclusion, the lack of warmth that should have been there. And what stands out is that she wasn't fooled by appearances. Even if your family tried to act normal on the surface, she could sense when something wasn't right. There's a strong feeling that she observed quietly without always stepping in, but internally she was reacting very strongly. It's almost like every time something unfair happened to you, it stayed with her, like she was collecting those moments, not forgetting a single one. Did she ever express disappointment in how others behaved toward you? Not always directly, and that's important. It feels more like indirect signals, maybe comments that sounded casual but had deeper meaning, or moments where her tone changed when she spoke about certain people. She might have said things that didn't fully reveal her true feelings, but if you look back, there were hints. A certain coldness toward those who mistreated you, or a kind of protective softness when she spoke to you. In some cases, she may have held it in, especially if she felt like speaking up would create conflict she couldn't control. But that disappointment was there, and it ran deeper than she showed. Did you feel like she silently protected you? There's a very strong sense of quiet protection here. Not loud, not dramatic. More like she was always watching, always aware, almost like a shield that you didn't fully notice at the time. It could have shown up in small ways. Her defending you in conversations you weren't present for, her making sure certain things didn't reach you, or even just the way she treated you differently, with more understanding, more patience. It feels like she created a kind of emotional safe space around you, even if the rest of the environment wasn't always supportive. Was there something she wanted to give you but couldn't at the time? It feels less like a physical object and more like something bigger, something she didn't have the power to fully deliver while she was still here. Almost like she wanted to change your situation, to make things fair, to give you the recognition or the environment you deserved. But she couldn't control everything around her. There's a sense of limitation, like she saw what needed to happen, but couldn't force it in that moment. And that creates this feeling that whatever she couldn't give, then, is now finding its way to you, differently. Do you feel like she left something behind, specifically for you? There's a strong indication that something was left, but again, it doesn't feel like something obvious or material. It's more like an imprint, an intention, a kind of energy that was directed toward you. Almost like she set something in motion that would activate later. This could show up as protection, as opportunities, as certain doors opening at the right time. It feels intentional, not random. Like it was meant for you specifically, not for anyone else. Is this gift something material or energetic? This leans heavily towards something energetic. If there is anything material, it's secondary. The core of this gift is about shifts. Shifts in how life responds to you, how situations unfold, how people reveal themselves. It's something you experience rather than hold in your hands. It shows up in timing, in coincidences that don't feel like coincidences, in moments where things just work out in a way they didn't before. That's the kind of gift this is. Could this gift be a change in your life circumstances? Very strongly, yes, but not in a sudden, explosive way. It's more like a gradual correction of your path. Situations that once felt stuck start to move. Things that didn't work out before suddenly begin to align. It's like life starts cooperating with you instead of resisting you. And the interesting part is that this change doesn't feel forced. It feels natural, almost like it was always supposed to happen, just delayed. Did your grandmother plan this payback before she passed. Not in a calculated step-by-step way like a plan written on paper. It feels more emotional than strategic, like she held a strong intention, a deep desire for things to be made right for you. And that intention carried weight. It's as if she left behind a kind of energy that continues to move even after she's gone. So while it may not have been a plan in the traditional sense, there was definitely a powerful inner decision that something needed to balance out. Was she holding back emotions about your family dynamic? Very much so. There's a sense of restraint, like she didn't say everything she wanted to say. Maybe she chose peace over confrontation, or maybe she felt that speaking out wouldn't change anything. But those emotions didn't disappear. They stayed inside, building over time. And that creates a kind of pressure, like unspoken truth that never got released. That energy doesn't just vanish. It transforms, and in this case, it feels like it transformed into something that's now influencing your situation. Did she feel anger toward those who hurt you? It doesn't feel like explosive anger, but more like a deep, controlled kind of frustration. A quiet anger that sits beneath the surface. She may not have shown it openly, but internally, she didn't agree with how things were handled. It's the kind of anger that doesn't need to shout. It just knows something is wrong. And that kind of emotion, when it's held strongly enough, can turn into a force that pushes for change. Is her energy still influencing your life now? There's a strong sense that her presence didn't just fade away. It feels active in subtle ways. Not something overwhelming, but something consistent. Like certain things happening at the right moment, certain outcomes that seem slightly too perfect to be random. It's not something you necessarily see directly, but you feel it in how situations unfold. It's like there's still a connection that hasn't been cut. Are you currently receiving signs connected to her? For some, those signs are very noticeable. Dreams, sudden memories, certain symbols appearing repeatedly. But for others, it's more subtle. It might not come through as obvious signs, but more as feelings, intuition, or moments where you just know something without knowing why. If you're expecting something very clear and dramatic, you might feel like nothing is happening. But if you look closer, there are small patterns that don't feel sluchainami. Is this gift meant to protect you? Protection is a big part of it, but it's not the only purpose. It's not just about keeping you safe. It's about positioning you differently in life. Yes, it prevents certain negativity veshi from reaching you fully, but it also guides you toward better outcomes. It's like a combination of shielding and redirecting at the same time. Could this gift expose the truth about your family? That's one of the strongest aspects here. This energy doesn't hide things. It reveals them. And not in a forced way, but naturally, through situations, through people showing who they really are. Masks start slipping, inconsistencies become obvious, and things that were once ignored become impossible to overlook. It's like the truth starts speaking for itself, without you needing to say anything. Is someone in your family already feeling the consequences? There are signs that at least one person is starting to feel a shift, but they may not fully understand why. It might show up as discomfort, instability, or things not going as smoothly for them as before. However, it doesn't feel like full consequences have landed yet. More like the beginning of it. A slow realization. A subtle pressure building. The full picture of this payback seems to still be unfolding. Does this payback happen quietly rather than openly? It's not loud, not dramatic, not the kind of thing where everything explodes in one moment and everyone suddenly admits everything. It works in a much more subtle, almost intelligent way. Situations start shifting behind the scenes. People begin to face their own consequences without being directly confronted. It's like life itself starts correcting things. And what's interesting is that from the outside, it may not even look like payback. But those involved feel it. They feel the discomfort, the imbalance, the loss of control. It's quiet, but very precise, like something is hitting exactly where it needs to. Is the gift connected to your personal growth? Very strongly connected. In fact, a big part of this gift is that you're no longer the same version of yourself that once tolerated certain things. You're growing out of old patterns, old roles, old expectations that were placed on you. And this growth is what activates everything else. It's like the more you step into yourself, your value, your boundaries, your clarity, the more this energy supports you. It's not just something given to you, it's something that works with you. Did your grandmother believe in your future success? There's a very steady, calm confidence in how she viewed you. Not exaggerated, not unrealistic, just a deep knowing that you had something in you that others didn't fully see. She may not have always said it directly, but she felt it. And even if your environment didn't reflect that belief, she held onto it. It's like she saw your potential in a way that wasn't influenced by the negativity around you. Is she helping you from beyond in subtle ways? The influence feels indirect but consistent. It's not about vmashadalstvo in an obvious way, but more like guiding the flow of things. You might notice that certain situations resolve themselves without you pushing, or that you avoid problems without even realizing how. That kind of subtle assistance is very present. It doesn't override your choices, but it nudges things in a direction that benefits you. Are situations now turning in your favor because of her? Partially because of her, but also because of where you are now. It's like her energy sets something in motion, but your current state allows it to fully unfold. Things that once felt blocked begin to open. People who didn't see you before start noticing. Circumstances shift in ways that feel almost overdue. It's not random. It feels like a delayed alignment finally catching up with you. Is this gift something that unfolds over time? It's definitely not a one-time event. It's layered. At first, it might feel like small changes, almost unnoticeable. But over time, those changes build into something much bigger. You start to see patterns, how things are consistently working out differently than before, how certain people are no longer able to affect you the same way. It's a process, not a moment. Could it be linked to unexpected luck or opportunities? It can look like luck from the outside, but it feels more intentional than that. Opportunities appear at the right time, connections happen when you need them, doors open without you forcing them. It's the kind of luck that feels aligned rather than sluchainem. And the more you trust it, the more it seems to continue. Did she want justice for you specifically? There's a strong sense that she wanted balance more than anything. Not revenge in a harsh or destructive way, but a correction. She wanted things to be fair, for you to receive what you deserved instead of what you were given. And that intention was very focused. It wasn't general. It was directed toward your situation, your experience. Is someone being revealed for who they truly are? This is already in motion. People who once hid behind certain roles or images are starting to show inconsistencies. Their behavior becomes harder to ignore. It's like the truth is surfacing naturally, without you needing to expose anything. And once that process starts, it's very hard to reverse. Does this gift involve emotional healing? Healing is a big part of it, but it doesn't come in a soft, comforting way at first. It comes through realization, through seeing things clearly, through understanding that what happened wasn't your fault. And that clarity can feel intense before it feels relieving. But once it settles, there's a sense of release, like something heavy is finally leaving your system. Is it helping you release past pain? Slowly, yes. Not all at once. It's more like layers being removed. You start reacting differently to things that used to trigger you. Certain memories lose their emotional weight. And you begin to see your past from a different perspective. Not as something that defines you, but as something you've moved through. Did your grandmother feel you were misunderstood? Very strongly. It's like she saw a version of you that others either ignored or didn't bother to understand. And that created a kind of quiet sadness in her. Not because of you, but because of how others failed to see you properly. She knew there was more depth there, more sensitivity, more strength than people gave you credit for. Is this her way of correcting what was wrong? It feels like a continuation of something she couldn't fully resolve before. Not a direct correction in the sense of changing the past, but a rebalancing of the present. Like making sure that what was off is now being adjusted. It's subtle, but very intentional. Are family members beginning to realize their mistakes? Some of them are starting to sense it, even if they don't openly admit it. It shows up as discomfort, as awkwardness, as a shift in how they interact with you. But not everyone reaches full awareness. Some may avoid it, deny it, or distract themselves from it. The realization doesn't come equally to everyone. Is this gift making you stronger internally? It's strengthening you, but not in an aggressive way, more like giving you stability. You feel less shaken by things that used to affect you deeply. There's a quiet confidence building, a sense that you don't need to prove yourself anymore. And that kind of strength changes everything. Does it change how others see you now? People are starting to notice something different, even if they can't explain it. It's like your presence feels more defined, more solid, and that shifts how they respond to you. Some may respect you more. Others may feel uneasy because they can't place you in the same role as before. Is this a form of protection from future harm? It does create a barrier, but not by isolating you. It's more about awareness. You start seeing things earlier, understanding people quicker, avoiding situations that don't serve you. That awareness acts as protection. It's not about hiding. It's about navigating differently. Could it be influencing your decisions without you noticing? There's a subtle guidance here. You might feel drawn towards certain choices without fully understanding why. And later, those choices make sense. It's like your intuition is sharper, more aligned. And that alignment helps you move in the right direction without overthinking everything. Is her presence guiding you away from negative situations? There's a pattern of avoidance when it comes to things that could harm you. Situations that could have gone wrong either don't happen or don't affect you fully. It's like you're being redirected before things escalate. Not in an obvious way, but consistently enough to notice over time. Is this gift connected to your independence? There's a very strong push towards standing on your own, but not in a lonely or isolating way. More like reclaiming your space, your decisions, your voice. It feels like this gift removes invisible strings that once kept you tied to expectations, roles, or emotional obligations within the family. You begin to notice that you're less affected by their opinions, less controlled by their moods, less dependent on their approval. And that shift creates a kind of freedom that's both empowering and a little unfamiliar at first. It's like you're stepping into a version of yourself that doesn't need permission anymore. Did she want you to stand on your own without them? Not in the sense of cutting everyone off or being completely alone, but in the sense of not relying on people who didn't treat you right. There's a feeling that she understood something important, that staying emotionally tied to those dynamics would continue to limit you. So the intention here is more about separation of influence rather than physical distance. It's about you no longer being shaped by their behavior. She wanted you to have your own ground, your own direction, without being pulled back into patterns that didn't serve you. Are you being separated from toxic family energy? This separation doesn't necessarily happen through dramatic conflict. In many cases, it's subtle. Less communication, less emotional involvement, less access. You might find yourself naturally pulling away, or certain situations simply stop happening. It's like the connection weakens on its own. And what's interesting is that this distance often feels relieving rather than painful, even if you didn't expect it to. Is this part of a bigger karmic cycle? It does feel like something that goes beyond just one moment or one situation. There's a sense of patterns repeating, not just in your life, but possibly across generations. And what's happening now feels like a breaking point in that cycle. Not everything, but a significant part of it. It's like something is being corrected, so it doesn't continue the same way moving forward. Did she feel something needed to be balanced? Very clearly. There's a strong sense that she recognized an imbalance, not just emotionally, but in how things played out over time. One side giving more, the other taking more, one person being overlooked while others were prioritized. And that kind of imbalance doesn't sit well over time. It creates a need for correction, and she felt that deeply. Is this payback more about justice than revenge? It leans heavily toward justice. There's no chaotic or destructive energy behind it. It's not about hurting people for the sake of it. It's about things returning to a more fair state. And sometimes that fairness feels uncomfortable for those who benefited from the imbalance before. But it's not random or cruel. It's measured. Are people who hurt you losing control now? There are signs that certain individuals are no longer able to influence things the way they used to. Their words don't carry the same weight, their actions don't have the same effect. It's like something shifted in the dynamic, and they feel it. Some may react to that by trying to regain control, while others may withdraw because they don't know how to operate in this new situation. Is the truth coming out without your involvement? This is one of the strongest patterns here. Things are being revealed naturally, through circumstances, through contradictions, through people exposing themselves without realizing it. And what's important is that you're not the one pushing it. You're more of an observer in this process. The truth surfaces on its own, and that makes it harder for anyone to deny. Did your grandmother trust that this would happen eventually? There's a quiet confidence in her energy, like she knew that things wouldn't stay the same forever. Even if she didn't see it happen directly, there's a sense that she believed in a kind of natural correction. Not rushed, not forced, but inevitable. Is this gift something only you can truly understand? From the outside, it may look like normal life changes, but for you, it feels different. There's a deeper layer to it, something that connects back to your past, your experiences, your emotions. Others might not fully grasp it, and that's okay. It's not meant to be explained to everyone. Does it make you see your worth more clearly? It doesn't just show you your worth. It makes it undeniable. Situations start reflecting it back to you. You begin to notice how differently things work when you stop accepting less than you deserve. And that clarity changes how you carry yourself, how you respond, how you choose. Is it removing illusions about your family? There's a stripping away of certain beliefs, expectations, or hopes that may not have been realistic. And while that can feel uncomfortable, it also brings clarity. You start seeing people for who they actually are, not who you hoped they would be. And that clarity gives you power. Are you starting to feel her energy more strongly now? It may come in waves, moments where you suddenly feel a connection, a memory, a presence that wasn't as noticeable before. Not constant, not overwhelming, but enough to feel real. And often it comes at times when you need reassurance or clarity. Is this gift activating at a specific time in your life? Timing plays a big role here. It's not random. It tends to activate when you're ready to handle it, when you've reached a certain level of awareness or strength. Before that, it might not have had the same effect. Could it be connected to your destiny or path? There's a sense that this isn't just about correcting the past, but also about aligning you with where you're supposed to go. It removes obstacles, clears confusion, and pushes you towards something more fitting for you. Is she helping you close a painful chapter? There's a closing energy here, but it doesn't always feel like a clean cut. It's more like a gradual ending. Things lose their intensity, their hold on you. And eventually, what once felt heavy becomes something you can leave behind. Does this gift bring emotional closure? Closure comes, but not necessarily in the way people expect. It's not always a conversation or an apology. It's more internal. A point where you no longer need answers the same way you did before. Is it pushing you toward a better environment? There's movement here, not always physical but energetic. You're drawn towards spaces, people, situations that feel more aligned with you. And at the same time, what doesn't fit starts to fade. Are you being guided to distance yourself from certain people? That distance often happens naturally. You may not even decide it consciously. It just becomes harder to stay connected in the same way. Conversations feel different, energy feels off, and slowly, space is created. Is this her way of saying, you deserve better? That message comes through very clearly, even if it's not in words. It's in how things shift, in what you're shown, in what you're no longer willing to accept. Does this gift make others treat you differently now? People respond to the change in you, some with respect, some with confusion, some with resistance. But the dynamic doesn't stay the same. Are those who hurt you being confronted by reality? They're facing something, but not always directly tied to you. It's more like life presenting them with situations that reflect their behavior back to them. Is this process already happening around you? It has already started, even if it's still in early stages. The signs are there, subtle but consistent. Are you starting to notice subtle changes because of it? The changes aren't always obvious at first. but they build. Small shifts in how things feel, how people act, how situations unfold. Is this gift permanent and long-lasting? This isn't something temporary. Once it fully settles in, it becomes part of your reality. It doesn't just disappear. Do you feel like this is her final act of protection for you? It feels like a continuation rather than an ending. Not a final act, but an ongoing presence that supports, guides, and protects in ways that don't need to be seen to be real. Did your grandmother see how your family treated you unfairly? There's an even deeper layer to this than it first seemed. It's not just that she noticed the unfairness. She understood the pattern behind it. She could see how certain roles were assigned in the family, how you were placed in a position where you had to tolerate more, give more, or stay quiet more than others. And what stands out is that she didn't see you as the problem, not even for a second. She saw the imbalance clearly, almost like she was outside of it, observing the dynamic from a higher perspective. And that awareness stayed with her constantly. Did she ever express disappointment in how others behaved toward you? There's a sense that she may have tried to speak at times, but not in a way that created open conflict. More like subtle corrections, small remarks, a certain tone that carried meaning beneath the surface. And when those attempts didn't change anything, she pulled back. Not because she stopped caring, but because she realized she couldn't force others to change. That disappointment turned inward, becoming something quieter but heavier. It's like she carried it with her, instead of releasing it. Did you feel like she silently protected you? That protection goes beyond emotional support. It feels like she was actively trying to redirect things in your favor, even in small ways. Maybe she would shift conversations, defend you when you weren't there, or even influence decisions that affected you. And at the time, it might not have been obvious. But looking back, there are moments where things could have gone worse, and somehow didn't. That's where her presence was strongest. Was there something she wanted to give you but couldn't at the time? There's a very strong feeling that she wanted to give you a different environment, a different experience within the family, one where you felt valued, seen, and respected. But she didn't have full control over the situation, and that limitation stayed with her. It's like she knew what you deserved, but couldn't fully deliver it in that moment. And that creates this sense that something remained unfinished. Do you feel like she left something behind, specifically for you? What's left behind feels intentional, almost like a delayed effect. Not something immediate, but something that activates later in your life when you're ready to receive it. It's not random energy. It feels directed, like it's meant to reach you at a certain point, when it can actually make a difference. Is this gift something material or energetic? The more this unfolds, the clearer it becomes that the material aspect is minimal or even non-existent. The real gift is in how reality starts responding to you differently. It's in timing, in alignment, in protection, in exposure of truth. These are things you can't hold, but you can feel their impact very clearly. Could this gift be a change in your life circumstances? It's not just a possibility, it's already happening in subtle ways. You might notice that situations don't trap you the way they used to, that certain doors that were closed before are now slightly open. It's like your path is being adjusted, not drastically all at once, but steadily, step by step. Did your grandmother plan this payback before she passed? It feels less like a plan and more like a decision that carried emotional weight. A deep vnutrenia, this is not right, and it needs to change. And that kind of intention doesn't just disappear. It continues. It moves. It finds ways to express itself over time. Was she holding back emotions about your family dynamic? There's a very clear sense of restraint. Words that weren't said, reactions that were held back, feelings that were contained. And when emotions are held like that for a long time, they don't just vanish. They transform into something else, something more subtle but still powerful. Did she feel anger toward those who hurt you? It's not chaotic anger, not explosive, more like a deep, controlled dissatisfaction, a quiet but firm awareness that something was wrong. And that kind of emotion doesn't need to be loud to be strong. It just stays steady, consistent, almost like a force waiting for the right moment to shift things. Is her energy still influencing your life now? The influence feels ongoing, not overwhelming, not vmeshavajushesa in every detail, but present in key moments. It shows up in timing, in protection, in how certain situations resolve themselves. It's subtle enough to question, but consistent enough to notice. Are you currently receiving signs connected to her? Some of the signs may not be recognized as such. They don't always come in obvious forms. It could be a sudden thought, a feeling of reassurance, a memory that appears at the right moment. These are quieter signs, but they carry meaning. Is this gift meant to protect you? Protection is definitely part of it, but it's more intelligent than just blocking harm. It's about guiding you away from situations that don't serve you, helping you see things earlier, making you less vulnerable to the same patterns repeating. Could this gift expose the truth about your family? That exposure is already unfolding. Not through confrontation, but through natural revelation. People show themselves through their actions, their inconsistencies, their reactions. And once you see it, it's hard to unsee. Is someone in your family already feeling the consequences? There's a growing sense of discomfort around at least one person. Things may not be going as smoothly for them, or they may feel a shift they can't explain. It's not full consequence yet, but it's the beginning of it, like a pressure building over time.